Good afternoon, Paranerds. I hope your day is going absolutely wonderful. And I welcome you back to the 31 Days of Halloween. That's right, we're continuing my series on my 31 favorite horror films. And we have a piece of Italian, just fantastic movie. I will completely lost my train of thought, so excuse me for that one. Because today we are talking about
You are Liza, aren't you?
Yes.
My name is Emily. I've been looking for you. Go back to where you came from and hurry. Leave this place. "60 years ago, everybody in this hotel disappeared. Every last person. A painter called Zweig, who lived here, closeted in his room, had found a key.
Tell me, with all those accidents, you think you'll give it up now?
I couldn't do that if I wanted to. Well, I won't give in.
Who else is here?
There's nobody here.
I can feel a presence. Somebody else is in here.
Oh, some weird story that Emily told me about room 36.
Emily? Who's Emily?
The blind girl that lives in the old house by the crossroads.
No, Zweig. Go away. I don't want to go back.
The girl that lives in the old house by the crossroads.
Yes.
That house has been abandoned for the last 50 years.
But that's not true. It's not possible. I was there.
This house was constructed on one of the... Woe be unto him who opens one of the 7 gateways to hell, because through that gateway, evil will invade the world.
The Beyond. The Beyond is directed by the great Lucio Fulci, who brought us such masterpieces as like The New York Zipper, the New York Ripper. Zipper is a whole different thing. Like The New York Ripper, Zombie, City of the Living Dead, Don't Torture a Duckling, just to name a few. Fulci's work is fantastic. So what is The Beyond about? Well, The Beyond begins in 1920s Louisiana, where the local townsfolk form a mob and kill a warlock down in the basement of this building. Just happens to be built atop one of the 7 gates of hell. We next wind up in the 1980s, and Liza Marrow, played by the beautiful and talented Katrina. I knew I was going to butcher that one. It's Italian, so forgive me. I'm not great at speaking. Let's just say that I'm not great at speaking. Catriona McCall, who has inherited the very same hotel. That's right, the building turns out to be a hotel called the Seven Doors. 7 gates, 7 doors. Coincidence? Probably. Mysterious accidents begin to take place while Liza just wants the place to fix up. She inherits it, she wants to fix it up and make it a cute little bed and breakfast. But she is unaware of the terror and unspeakable horror that is coming, and she must be prepared. Can she stop it? Watch to find out. So a little bit of... There's not a ton of behind-the-scenes facts, so this is going to be kind of a fast video. I do love this movie. We'll get into more of that, but there are some key behind-the-scene facts that I really want you to know about. Germano Natali is responsible for the special effects for this film, and he does an amazing job. This film features some of my favorite kills ever. He's worked on films like Deep Red, Suspiria, Inferno, and the Mystery Science Theater ripped classic Devilfish, which is a crazy movie all in itself. And if you ever get a chance to watch that Mystery Science Theater, please do. It is awesome. So, the Book of Eban, which is prominently featured throughout the film, is the creation of American pulp fiction author, poet, and fine artist Clark Ashton Smith, and is recurring text associated with the Cthulhu mythos. That's right, the Cthulhu mythos. Cycle of literature initiated by the H.P. Lovecraft. Love fucking Lovecraft. So in a way, this movie is inspired by Lovecraft's works. Brilliant, fantastic. The book, which deals with various arcane subjects, including the resurrection of the dead, demonic magic, parallel dimensions, and other black magic subjects, is alleged to have been imparted to the infamous necromancer Eban by the ancient devil god Sakuga in a remote prehistoric epoch. The book was introduced in Smith's 1933 short story Uba Sitaya. If you ever get a chance to delve into the Cthulhu mythos, it's a fucking mind warp, but it's so worth it. Some spoilers here, so be prepared. During the final scene in the Beyond's Abyss, the sand-covered bodies laying on the ground were actually stark, naked derelicts who were paid with alcohol. Can you fucking believe that? They just were like, hey, strip naked, we're going to cover you in sand, here's some booze, perfect, thanks, beauty. I can't fucking believe that. Oh my god, that's so funny. Italian cinema, folks. You can't, there's no explanation for it. There's some crazy movies and there's some classics. Fulci decided to no longer work for the Italian distributors who produced his film Zombie, which was originally supposed to be called Zombie Flesh Eaters. Due to the title fiasco trying to cash in on the success of Dawn of the Dead. So, what that means is Dawn of the Dead was originally in European cinema called Zombie. And Italian distributors of his original Zombie Flesh Eaters titled it Zombie 2. They were trying to cash in on that success, calling it a sequel, because copyright laws back in the 70s, early 80s was a little, Fulci was pissed. So he approached Medusa distributors, technically making this film a German production, where he intended the film to purely be a metaphysical horror film with only one zombie. However, the executives insisted on a zombie rampage somewhere in the film's climax due to his zombies being a massive hit worldwide, including in Germany. Fulci was hesitant at first, but he agreed after being promised creative control over everything else in the film. And I'm really glad that he did come to the compromise, because even though he had done Zombie already, the zombie rampage at the end of this movie is fucking awesome. This whole movie is just fucking awesome. Very much like Zombie, the film was renamed in both Germany and the United States. Unlike Zombies, the titles were original and not intended to cash in on other films. In Germany, it was called The Ghost Town of Zombies, and in the US, it was briefly called The Seven Doors of Death, and it was given a whole new score. I have not ever seen that version, and I'm glad I didn't. Glad I've seen the original, The Beyond, because that score is phenomenal. One last piece of trivia, and then I'll tell a little bit more about the film. And then we have a special shout out at the very end. Many people have assumed Emily's brutal death from her seeing eye dog biting her throat and ear off as gratuitous violence, which is a staple in most of director Fulci's films. However, this was supposed to be an intended visual, albeit gory, interpretation of the phrase, "See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil." Because in the very beginning, she was blinded from the view of hell, and she was killed because she gave a warning to Liza. If she had kept her mouth shut, might be alive. But then again, the gates of hell are open. Who knows what's going to happen? This movie will absolutely please the gorehounds. Some great effects, great practical effects, some great gore, an amazing score and sound design are featured in this film. Some talented acting. The dubbing needs a little bit of work, but it's it's Italian. It's an Italian film. You can't. It's hard to translate over to English from Italian to get those lip syncs just right, but still a fantastic film, and it has one of my favorite kills. And I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna tell you it involves a bottle of acid, and holy shit, it was awesome. Oh, I remember watching it. I was just like, holy shit, yes, death and destruction. I'm sorry. This movie it gets me every time. I give this film 4.5 ghosts out of 5. If you love Italian horror, if you love gore, what this film lacks in a plot, because there's not much plot to the film. It's literally a hotel, the gates of hell, people are being killed. It makes up for in gore, atmosphere, killer soundtrack, and some very good acting. Love this film. It's part of Fulci's Gates of Hell trilogy, which includes The Beyond, City of the Living Dead, and House by the Cemetery. Now, it's a trilogy in name only because they really don't have much to do with each other. The only two sort of common things would be the fact that The Beyond is about one of the 7 gates of hell, and so is City of the Living Dead. House by the Cemetery, I never understood why that's part of the Gates of Hell trilogy, because unless I missed something in that film, which that film confused the hell out of me. It's still a great movie, but it confused the shit out of me. I don't remember there ever being anything about the gates of hell. But maybe I missed it. Who knows? I have to give a special shout out to a friend, a fellow paranormal investigator, and one of the greatest tarot practitioners out there, Katie Webb. I highly recommend you check out Katie's work. I got to watch just a couple weekends ago her lecture during PhenomenaCon, and I was blown away. She absolutely blew my mind. It was fucking amazing. I highly recommend her work. The reason she's getting a special shout out is because she reminded me this film existed. I completely forgot about this film. And I'm so mad at myself because it's a fucking cult classic. And it has easily made it it has easily made its way into my top 20. Thank you, Katie, for reminding me of this. Get a tarot reading by Katie. I cannot stress that enough. One of the best tarot practitioners out there. I will be putting all of her links in the description below. Follow her on Twitter. She has this amazing... she does this thing called Ghostspire. It's an interview with actors who have passed about paranormal stuff. It's awesome, well written, great. I love reading it every time. Fantastic stuff. She's a DJ, an all-around amazing person. Check out all of Katie's work. Again, her links are in the description below. I thank you all so much for watching. You all mean the world to me. Thank you for continuing with me on the 31 Days of Halloween. Have a fantastic day. And remember, we live in a weird world. Look at this fucking movie. This will tell you what kind of fucking weird world we live in. Go out and experience it.